Hello, I'm Brian Durlow with Frog Creek Partners. Today I'm going to show you how we put in a gutter bin drop inlet filter and how we put it together and install it. So we've got a number of different parts here. First of all, let's talk about our PPE. I like to wear knee pads, have safety glasses. I have a mask in case it's really dusty in there, and some leather gloves, and definitely some steel toe boots. The tools that I'm going to be using is I always have a grate picker, a nice sturdy one to pull the grate off, a hammer, a punch with about an 1/8 inch tip, a scraper, and a ruler that is both imperial and metric. We do a lot of our measurements in metric because we find it easier. This right here is a combination drop inlet. So you'll see a slight bent. It's also a bench grate, but it's we have a curb inlet opening there as well. So the different parts on the gutter bin drop inlet filter here. First of all, you'll see this big part. That is the filter hanger. Part of this filter hanger, we have the receiver and the Mundus hoop ring right there. We have the handle lock. These are chain stays, which I'm going to show you how those work in a moment. And then in here, we have the key insertion point for the Mundus lock. This is the lock key. Now here we have, so that's a filter hanger. This is the under grate frame. There's going to be 2 unique corner pieces here. This one is different from that one. They fit together. I'm going to show you how those put together here in a moment. And because this is a bench grate, we have these portions right here because they are bent. They're going to join these two on the long axis right there. Normally, if it's a flat grate, we will not have these. And then we have 4 pieces of stainless steel chain right there. So let's go ahead and put this together. Let's start out with the filter hanger. Now, pretty much all hammer tabs you want to press down, except for the slider tabs, which I'll show you in a minute. But I take this, I'm just going to press that down a little bit. Press it down so it's about 3/4 of an inch away. All 4 of those, like that. Then I take one end of the chain and I flick it over that right there on all 4 sides. Now I'm going to press this back in. You can use that. One thing I like to do is you'll see that hammer tab is not all the way through. I like to take that all the way through just because it will lock in place if we do that. I'm going to take my same punch, just kind of bend those back up in there, and I'm going to show you why we bend those back up on themselves here in a moment. And we got a little bit, there we go. And I'll feed these through the holes. Okay, now the filter hanger is ready to hang, but you can see from here, see how that tab is pulled back through the groove right there? So if this chain, we've got hundreds of pounds of sediment or grossness right in there, that filter hanger is going to see a lot of weight. And then as that pulls, the tighter this gets, the harder that's going to lock on there. So I'm going to set this aside right now. That is ready. Now we're going to put together the UGF, the under grate frame. Set those aside. I'm not going to put the vac truck friendly, I'm not going to install the vac truck friendly. I do want to show you one more thing on here. Here are the opening for these locks. So I take this punch again and I hit it right on top there. See, there's a small square. Hit it right on top. And that just opens up like that. And that will come right out of there. And then the lock, sometimes it's easier if you come in from the back That way you can grab it. See, now that lock, you can take that out, put in your shirt pocket so it doesn't get in the storm drain. Now with this, watch this. So this lock here, you can put that right in. It goes in sideways first, and then you rotate like that. So that when we put that bag in there, that's gonna lock that bag in there so it won't get sucked up by the vacuum truck. So when you're knocking this tab out, come in from the back end. A little bit easier. Okay, so the UGF, the undergrate frame. We have 4 corner pieces and then 2 bent pieces. These are gonna be like this. Now all of these, every hammer tab, these are the hammer tabs right here. That's a hammer tab, that's a hammer tab, that's a hammer tab. But they all have different functions. This one's for chain stay, that's gonna hold the chain. These are locking tabs, these are both chain stays. These are locking tabs as well. And then this is a slider tab. This slider tab is gonna be pushed up, but every other hammer tab will be pushed down. So let's go ahead and go around to all these hammer tabs, which are 90 degrees offset from the rest of these. And I'm gonna go ahead and pound all of those up. So see, that one's up. And I try to make it 90 degrees straight up and down. Now there's another one over here. So that one's done, both of those. Okay, good. So those are up. Now we also, because this is a bent grate again, we've got some slider tabs on these little pieces, so I'm gonna knock those up as well. I just take that and I'm gonna rotate that up. I like a nice 90-degree angle like that. Sometimes you can just push these through just like that. You don't even need a hammer. Just go like that. Okay, now those slider tabs are up. I'm going to push these ones down now. These are the chain stays. Now this piece is going to go right here. So there's gonna be some overlap right there. Because of that, there's 2 chain stays. I tend to always push the one that's on the long axis down, just so it doesn't get in the way of this. It's very easy. So I just take that one, push that down a little bit. There's another one right here. This is gonna be the long axis, so I'm gonna push that down. This is where our chain's gonna come up and around. Again, here's a long axis. Push that down just a little bit. And then one more right here. Okay, now we can start putting these things together. Oh, there we go. Make a nice clean workspace. Okay, so I'm gonna start with these smaller pieces first. Right there, it's pretty easy. All you do is just slip that slider through. That's gonna slide all the way back and forth like that, but I like to keep it as open as possible to begin with. It gets easier to put it all together. So there's that. Nice and wide open. Do the same over here. Okay, so that's all together. I'm gonna put the long pieces. So there is, that frame is ready to be installed. I am not going to put this frame, I'm not going to attach it to the filter hanger until I put it in the ground, because it's a lot easier to fit this frame into the catch basin frame, the UGF into the catch basin frame when the filter hanger is not attached. So right now you can do this pre-assembly. We do a lot of this pre-assembly in our shop even before we go out. Just put them together and just throw them in the back of the truck. But sometimes the gutter bins are going to show up in all different, in just a package of parts, and you're going to put them together like that. So that is how you put together a gutter bin drop in the filter UGF undergrate frame and a filter hanger. And now I'm going to show you how we install it into the catch basin.